Action.
Hello, test my computer. Thank you very much for coming. Let's kill that stupid thing. No worries. It's all good. Thank you very much for coming out to the PAX 10 panel. I think. Oh, yes. All right. Look at that. You can have this seat.
Hegemony.
We were going to be the PAX 4, but now we're back to PAX 5. Wow. Out of the 10. I can do that. I can't code, but I can do that. All right. Let's start with introductions. And you have a wireless mic right down there. So your name in the game.
I am Rick.
And do we need to turn that on? Is there a switch?
Yes, there is.
Can
you hear me now?
There we go. Hello. You're really loud.
Hi, I'm Rick, and I'm with Longbow Games, and our game is called Hegemony, Macedon, real-time strategy game.
All right.
I'm Eric Measure. I'm with Altitude by Nimble Games, and we've got a multiplayer action game.
Hi, my name is Sean, and I'm with Nervous Center, and I design Shibuya, and this is Tom, our president, and my brother. In that order. I'm Dan, with One Man Down. We did Solace, the tap-on music shooter, and behind me we've got Robert Francis, also in One Man Down, same thing, tech director, the brains for it all.
Okay.
I'm Danny Baranowski. I'm the music composer for Super Meat Boy. This is Jordan Fair, the sound effects designer, and Super Meat Boy is an unreasonably difficult platform.
So, we don't have any big fancy presentations or PowerPoints or anything, so if you have questions, feel free to line up right at that mic, standing in the middle of the aisleway, right at the beginning. You can start right now, and ask questions of these gentlemen. All right. I can see people are really jumping up to jump and ask questions. Oh, my name is Jeff. I've been in the industry 16 years. The last few at Penny Arcade, maybe. 11 and a half of those were actually with Nintendo of America. And so I was an evil publisher. So let's start. How many people were on your teams? And we can start right here. Am I right?
4.
Let me elaborate. How many people were on your teams, and what roles did they fill on those teams?
The answer's still 4. And music, sound effects, Ed McMillan did design and art, and Tommy Refinez did design and coding. Do I win?
You win.
We too had 4. Gotcha. We had 3 programmers and 1 artist. We all basically wore every single hat, producing, designing, all that good stuff. We actually had 2 people working on music though as well, which would be the 2 of us, so I guess still 4.
Fair enough.
4. The 2 of us did, sort of most of the development, and then we kind of all did art and business. Those are all the categories we think in.
So there are 2 core developers. Do I have a mic? All right, I guess I do. 2 guys at Nimble Games, and we had Steve Caniff, artist, do some contract work for us, and we also use Somatone for sound. So the other half of Nimble Games is right there, Carl Sable. All right.
Okay, we started with 3 developers, and now we have 5. So about a year into the project, I joined the team, and about a year and a half ago, we just had a new artist. So it's 2 programmers, so I'm one of them, 2 artists, and 1 designer.
Okay, thank you. We have our first question. Thank you very much, sir. There we go. You're live.
Where's Ed?
Go ahead.
Where's Ed?
Traveling in space. No, him and Tommy needed to finish the game.
Crunch.
Yeah, that's what I am. So, I mean, it's like bug crunching and stuff right now, so.
Okay.
Seriously though, my real question is, for you people, the people on the project, what made you decide that you wanted to stay on it or go for it and stick with the project? And for everyone else here, I guess, sort of the same question.
Why haven't you given up?
Why didn't you tell them to screw off and leave? Okay. because I wanted money. Yeah, like when I got picked up for music, it was like a year and a half ago, and I didn't have any shit going on, so
Lack of other interests.
So we're actually a student team from DigiPen, so we don't really have a choice. This was a 2-semester project, so we wanted to pass the class.
Forced servitude is the other answer.
For us, it was just super easy, and if it had ever gotten hard, we would have quit. And it was a lot more fun than other things we were working on before. So.
Well, we saw that Counter-Strike was still selling tens of thousands of copies every week, so we figured, 1 year we could crank out a multiplayer game, no problem. And it's all about the money. But 3 years later now we have no savings, so we're fighting for the scraps at this point. This is all we got.
Yeah, ours is actually quite similar. It took us over 5 years to put our game together. So, a few years in, you've invested so much that you sort of have to keep going on until it's a good game. Thanks.
Next one, kills the puppies.
I see
Do you have a question? Go right ahead.
Yeah, I have a question. I'm sure this has happened to Altitude. I'm not sure about the rest of you. But platforms and clients such as Steam, how much does free weekends really affect you? Is it very positive, or does it give people chances to give you bad reviews?
Okay, for us, I can say as a multiplayer game, there's always this critical mass issue that you're worrying about with your player base. And so we've been out for a year, so that's not a huge deal for us. But specifically to the free weekend, it's awesome for us. So you get tons of players, you get tons of new people interacting with each other, which is important when you have skill base. What's that? Oh, that's awesome. Good man. So basically,
not the multiplayer stuff. The fact that it was free.
no, but the thing is, with the free weekend, you get eyeballs. And so basically everything Steam can do on their distribution channel is good for you. They have the ability to send hundreds of thousands of eyeballs with a click. And so if that's a free weekend, if that's a prize cut, basically anything they do is great. I can say on free weekends it's been better than anything else they've done for us.
Okay, and to anyone else, would you want your software to be on Steam or any other client such as that?
Do any of you want your game distributed?
Well, not necessarily like that, but to Steam or as a free weekend.
So is your main question about would they give their games away for free?
We already do.
Yes. We actually, it's a student project, so we can't charge for it legally.
Every weekend's a free weekend.
Go to our website right now, it's still the free weekend.
Well, I guess that's it.
Thank you.
So with regard to the users, and it seems a few of these projects have been around for a while, and I guess recently been blown up and discovered this forum here. How do you handle user feedback? Do you welcome it? Do you welcome feature requests, or I would have done this differently, or what part is that of your development process?
So are you talking specifically once it's out to the public, not during the development side?
Right.
All right, so once your game's been released, how do you react to user feedback?
We really welcome it, actually. After our game released, we tried to get a feel for the pulse of what our users were thinking, and release patches after release to make people give them what they want within reason for what we can develop in terms of a patch. So it really helped for us to.
So it doesn't like spawn off and say, in title number 2.
Yeah, or it for us sort of gave us the idea of what we were going to do for our expansion pack.
Yeah, for Altitude, it's been a huge part of the development of the game. We've continued to patch, and it's absolutely the best way to get new ideas. It's also a good way to get lots of crappy ideas, but you got to filter them. And so it's totally worth the time to really dig in, for us at least, to dig into the forums, to encourage people to contribute, and it's been a huge part of our game. And it's the best way to see if your game's screwed up. There's always something. You have total tunnel vision as a developer.
Right.
And when one person says something, you can say, okay, he's an idiot. Then when two people say it, you really got to look at it because they're usually right.
Yeah, we came out yesterday, and so I have a lot of experience with this. But I do because we also submitted an update yesterday because of some things that people were saying. So it's going to make your game better, you know. But you have to decide that as a designer. You know, you have to look at it and say, will this actually make the game better, or is it just what they want and not what most people want? So
Playtesting basically fueled our entire dev cycle. So, I mean, ever since we had something on the screen, we've been having like Google Forms going, hey, is this pleasing to your eye? What do you think? So, I mean, we take people's feedback very seriously, especially now. I mean, it being an independent project and, you know, us being students, we can make changes and, you know, submit them to our website and have people test, you know, the build that we made last week. So, I mean, if we ever want to better ourselves, it's definitely by getting the feedback.
For me and Jordan, it's probably a little bit different because the only feedback that matters is the developers. So occasionally, like, things would be put out there, like music would be put on like YouTube, and I mean, if you've ever read YouTube comments, you know the quality of like, I effing hate metal. And it's like not metal, there's just like a guitar in it. So I mean, it's cool to get feedback, but like, I mean, really, and that's always how it's been for me for like doing music for movies or anything. It's like it doesn't matter what they think. It's like I'm just writing music that the developer or the director wants. So.
And to our game more specifically, hey,
Where did you come from?
Because our game's coming out on 4 different platforms, the user feedback post-release, I mean, in turn, like, if we had a PC-only game, it would be easy to put out some updates for stuff like that, but it's not so easy to do that on Xbox Live Arcade or WiiWare, and to change, like, only the PC and Mac version and not the console versions really wouldn't be right, so, you know, we're just trying to make it the best we can for when it comes out, because there's not much we can do about it after that.
People flip out just because it's on multiple consoles anyway. Like, you should have only made this for Wii. You know, so it's how much feedback is really.
Just as a quick follow-up, do any of you guys use a tool set to collect user metrics from the play? Or is that too far? You know, like
I wish we did.
Yeah.
So we do have some custom code plugged in. Since it's a multiplayer game, people are always hooked up to the internet, and you can learn a lot from that. It's also a big pain to hook everything together to really harvest the data meaningfully, because Steam will run a free weekend, and we have a totally different group of people playing the game. And so you want to analyze that data, but that's not the data that's necessarily going to apply to your average guy from the web. So it is a very useful tool, I think, especially if you have a persistent set of more multiplayer.
Because I know a lot of Xbox Live enabled games, especially the big titles, Bungie specifically, collects massive amounts of user play data.
Yeah.
And uses it to tweak things.
Yeah,
I just wondering if it's scaled down.
Yeah, earlier in our dev cycle, we actually invited a whole bunch of students to play the opening section of the game, and that really helped us iron out how to get players into it. And if we could have gotten that kind of information for the entire section of the game, it's something I would have loved to have.
Thank you.
Thank you. There's a mic back there. Do you need a mic? We'll come after these notes. We'll look down.
This question is for the Super Meat Boy people. I've heard really bizarre things about Microsoft and putting titles on Xbox Live Arcade, specifically with release dates. I'm wondering if they gave you any kind of trouble with that, or because you said that developers aren't crunch right now. So.
Sadly, we're the wrong people to ask.
Well, you know, as far as
Make one up.
Microsoft is full of tentacle demons.
That's the answer you wanted anyway.
Just from what I've talked about, like they're I mean, they mean business, but they're as cool as they can be. I mean, I've been through my phase of screw Microsoft or whatever, and then with a dollar sign. Oh my god! But as far as like the release date thing, they wanted. We were